r/ask Reddit. What is an unspoken, universal rule all males know? When you reach a certain age, you must groan when either sitting or standing up even if there is absolutely no pain whatsoever. It's automatic. LOL. I'm a painter and started doing it in my early 30s. A customer once asked if I was alright. I laughed because I really didn't know what to say. When leaving you must smack your pockets to make sure everything is there. Triple pat. Phone, keys, wallet. The nod. Yes. Downwards if you're not that close. Upwards if you are. Down means I acknowledge your presence non-threateningly and am moving on. Good day. Up is either oh hey what's up to a friend or you need something from me trying to tell me something to a stranger. The WIDE step. You all know. My lady cracks up when I'm walking ahead and give the old wide step and mid-step shake. The only way to cure a bad case of NSTL. When there's a choice between urinals, use the one that minimizes the chances of neighboring another occupied urinal. I had an old man walk up to the urinal next to me when all of the other urinals were available and tell me don't worry, I won't piss on you, before unleashing the most aggressive piss I've ever heard in my life. I still think about it sometimes. He was totally going to piss on you if you seemed interested. When you stand up to leave, make sure to do the pocket check. Phone, keys, wallet. A quick slap of the knees and say right, UK. Up here in Western Canada it's whelp. Every time you grab the tongs click them twice to make sure they work. I've had tongs fall apart during test clicks. There's no telling the absolute disaster it would have caused if it had fallen apart outside of a test click. Cannot lose the food to the floor, especially ribs. If a hood on a car is open, you must stand in a circle around it, similar to grills at an event. Whenever I had car issues, I'd always pop open the hood and walk over to inspect it. First thing I'd do is look to see if my engine was still there. If in fact my engine was still there, I'd look around, puzzled as to what else could be causing issues to my car. After about 5 minutes of jiggling random things then checking to see if my car was back to normal, I'd go on to my next step, which was to call my mechanic and pay him lots of monies to fix my car, but never before first opening up my hood to inspect it for any missing engines. No dude, after you jiggle each thing, you have to try to start it again, cause you never know, and before you call that mechanic, have your buds come over and jiggle shit too. One of you will eventually jiggle it back into start mode. Never underestimate the power of a good jiggle. If anything is floating in the toilet when you pee, it instantly becomes a target. Unless there is a shit stain on the side of the bowl, which takes priority. Toilet art needs to be erased. You must stand by your bro while he's grilling and make comments about the level of awesome it's going to be. Splendiferous grill lines, my man. Most bodacious char, my dude. We must feel the pain of our fellow men who we see being hit in the balls. Once in the dorms, someone told us a balls getting whacked story and all the guys clenched up and went oh yeah. A girl said that's so funny the way guys do that. Another time a guy asked I wonder what hurts more, when a girl gets bad cramps or when a guy gets whacked in the nuts. The girls said you have no idea how much it hurts, comma, and guys replied well, you have no idea how much it hurts. Not saying this as a this gender has it worse thing or suck it up. Cramps can't be bad or whatever, but there's no way monthly period cramps compare to being struck in the testicles. At least for the vast majority of girls. But I can't remember the last time I was struck in the testicles anyway. Definitely not a monthly or even yearly occurrence. Open bracket. For those Redditors that take everything as a gender battle, I'd bet childbirth is considerably more painful than both. Edit. I agree that this is very relative, subjective, and depends on the situation. You must let out a sigh of satisfaction when sitting down on a lawn chair. And there must be someone near to ask you to do something the moment you are done with your sigh. FFS. Are you looking through my windows? Anytime you're strapped down a load you must slap it and say that ain't going nowhere. Trust me, just do it. Same with clapping the tongs together a few times before using them on the grill. And you must squeeze the drill trigger at least twice after putting on a new battery, otherwise the dad gods will cause your project to fail. Anytime you use a stud finder, you must first use it on yourself and say found one. Just checking to make sure it works is also acceptable. My husband has brackets in his back from surgery. Ran his stud finder down his back as a joke. It went off to both our surprise. My husband is a stud. One shall slap the bag of soil in the garden center when passing by. I pretty much do this to any bagged product. Dog food, landscaping rug. No bagged product is safe. Sometimes I get mixed up when I do this and accidentally say that ain't going nowhere. You cannot call shotgun in a friend's car if he has his girlfriend wife in the group. OMFG, my husband's friend and I are so competitive with this, he shoves me into the sides of other cars to slow me down. That's hopefully the sign of you two also being good friends and it's a game. Or you're married to Turk or JD. When watching TV hanging by the fire etc. with the guys, if you get up to get a beer, always consult the room if anyone else requires a beverage before leaving. Beer me, edit. Thank you fellow Office fans. Red heart. Beer me the CD. You can shake and you can dance, but the last drops always end up in your pants. You can take a minute to milk a, but then you risk someone walking in and you becoming the guy rubbing it out at the urinal. Never turn your homie into a clown just to make a girl laugh, that just sucks. Edit. Finally, my wise words came to the light. I turn into a clown for my homie. Go to make them look better. Lot of dudes don't know this one. If you with your homie and his crush rolls up, you aren't the funny one. Most dudes either don't care about this one or just don't know it. Needs more recognition. Not many guys tell their friends about their crushes. Protect your junk at all costs. There's a reason why cowboys wear jeans in the desert. To be stylish OFC. Yay, to protect against insects and animal bites. Ticks, sticks, kicked up rubble, rocks, cactuses, etc. A stud detector will not work if you don't first point it at yourself to find the biggest stud around. That's just calibration. Or at least that's what I tell my family. Borrow a car. Bring it back with more gas than you started with. I know some guys that don't know this rule. I notice you said guys, not friends. Good call. Always leave one urinal between you and the other guy, it's etiquette. And if you can't, never look at their donga. Nor grab their donga. Not down to guys you don't know, not up to friends. One time I was sleep deprived and grocery shopping. Eyes randomly locked with some dude I didn't know as I was scanning for open registers. He was just hanging out in line. And for some reason my brain wires got crossed and we guy nodded, but I accidentally nodded up instead of down. And I looked away, but he did a double take. It was a disaster. He spent the next few minutes looking back and squinting at me, trying to understand why he didn't recognize me and clearly trying to decide if he should say something. That was 8 years ago and I still haven't recovered from the experience. The duck man, you probably messed that guy up more than the I like bananas guy. Only the driver can modify anything on the dashboard from the car. Unless that driver has verbally designated the co-pilot to certain duties. Absolutely, if it's a multi-hour car trip you gotta designate duties. Passenger is audio. Rear is divided up between. Directions if we are in the city, audio directions aren't feasible. Finding a cool place to eat before after activity. And spotting cool shit in the roadside. Roast your bro when he's happy. Comfort him when he looks depressed. The book How to Write Funny says that the purpose of humor is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. Always bring the groceries into the house in one trip. There are no exceptions. Mama didn't raise no 2-trip beach. Unless you feel genuinely threatened. Never purposefully hit a man in the balls. Thanks. I'm getting massive PTSD from flashbacks of junior high pay now. Don't point out the flaws on someone else's car. Yes, I'm totally goddamn aware my 52-year-old project car needs a paint job. This goes for everything. Car, house, whatever. I don't need you to point out that it could be better different. Some tools require testing before use. Examples include click tongs, squeeze the trigger of a power drill a couple times, spin the socket of a ratchet wrench to make sure it's going the right way. Stud finder, always gotta check on yourself to make sure it works. When at a bar or restaurant and a buddy shows up, You must say some form of I guess they'll let anyone in here. Edit. Wow, my first ever award. Thank you. Ask the bartender. This guy bothering you? I wouldn't serve that guy if I were you. When she tells you she's not hungry for whatever you're ordering, order more cause she'll definitely be eating your stuff. After communication with my wife, I have come to the conclusion that the estimate is based on current hunger. It does not take into account future hunger. Do with that information as you will. Edit. Get more fries for the team. If a woman you don't know approaches you and acts like an old friend, play along. When I was 20 I was getting off the tube in London and got a really eerie sense about a guy. I was certain he was following me, but we were both exiting the station, so maybe I was being paranoid. It was late, around 11 PM. The exit was long with a couple of corners. The faster I walk, the faster he walks. I end up making a run for it at the top of the escalator. There are two dudes hanging around outside. I just launch myself at them. I grab one guy around the waist and loudly say, "Sorry I'm late, babe." He immediately plays along. "What took you so long? We've been waiting ages." The stalker guy stops and glares at the three of us. He looks furious but walks away. My pretend boyfriend also sensed evil. He was scared for me. Him and his maid walked with me and waited with me until I got a taxi. A week later, a woman was followed from that station late at night, dragged into a front garden, raped and viciously assaulted. We need pretend boyfriends. And know where your wallet phone is and walk with her to the police or somewhere with security like a bank instead of letting her lead. Thievery happens, but you should try to help people still. When a friend asks for help, you help them. And your best bro's good woman is an extension of your best bro. Story time. My best bro left for work early AF in the AM. 12 hours shift at a hospital. His girl left the apartment a few hours later for her 12-hour shift. This was my day off. Sleeping late. I hear her leave, then legit 5 minutes later my phone goes off. It's her, crying. She hit a curb around the corner and the tire is blown. She has to get to work. She's a nurse too. Without thought, I get up, hop in the car and go see about her. Her car is ducked. Grab everything you need for work. Let's go. I race her to the hospital and she makes it in on time. I have her keys. I head back to her car, swap the spare on, take wheel and blown tire to the tire shop and have a new tire put on. Go back to her car, swap spare off for the new tire. Call my now ex GF to come follow me to the hospital so I can drop her car off and leave her keys under the floor mat. She has her car now when she gets off late that night. She's his wife now. Anything I'd do for my best friend, I'd do for her too. Edit. Holy shit. I've never had this many upvotes. Thank you all for the kind words. I love my best friend. I just did what needed to be done in the moment. All the awards and golden comments. Just wow. There is another story of me saving his nursing career before it even got started a couple years before this story took place. Fun times. We have each other's back. A real friend right here. Not taking the last beer when you didn't pay for it. My beer is your beer, unless it's my last one. You have to rip off icicles from roofs and throw big rocks in lakes when given the opportunity. Edit. Don't spend real money to donate fake awards for my generic comment. What the duck, are you all stupid? Any object carried by another male is immediately assessed for its weapon capacity. Ocular pat down. Any object in a given space is immediately addressed for its weapon capacity. If your mate goes missing in Amsterdam, you say nothing about it unless he is gone for more than 2 hours. I lost a mate for 3 days. He finally got back to our apartment, stoned, drunk and with lipstick all over his arm. How this happened we will never know, because he can't remember the 3 days, but he could not have paid by himself, because he left his wallet at our apartment. Mother ducker does this all the time. Always clean the sides of the toilet bowl with your ruin stream. If it sparkles when you're done, you win. Edit. Was going to fix ruined urine but I kinda like calling it my ruin stream. Whenever your wife husband tries to buy something you could make but never will, always tell her / him to not buy it because you can make that same thing at home way cheaper. The old why buy this when I can make it half as good for twice the price in materials. Don't look at another man's dong when you're pissing. If you accidentally see it, then it's whatever, but if you get caught looking at it intentionally, then you wrong, bro. This has nothing to do with homophobia either. It's about privacy and respecting boundaries. Even gay men aren't trying to just show their dong to everyone in the bathroom. Keep your eyes on the road. Eyes on the road, not on the chode. Don't date a bro's ex-GF. Been burned by this one twice by brothers. Same ex, no less. What does she have that all the homies would breach the code for? She must be one hell of a penis fly trap. If a man is with his young kids, you do not get to duck with that man. You just wait until next time or whatever you have to, but no, not today, cause dude is with his little ones. THX for the silver, THX for the awards. All. Are people just out here looking for childless men to duck with? If you're bald and I'm bald, we're automatically bald brothers. Don't speak to me if I'm using the restroom. Not enough people I know seem to know that one. Like, it can't wait 3 minutes to talk about how crazy the game is going without your dong in your hand. At least wait until we're hand washing. Yeesh. When driving a manual, always ferociously wiggle the gear lever to make sure it's in neutral before starting the engine. Twice. I present the 10 commandments of manhood. Thou shalt click the tongs thrice before use. Thou shalt encourage others to refrain from manipulating the thermostat. Thou shalt always be the fire master. Thou shalt always keep 1 urinal distance between your fellow man. Thou shalt encircle a car or grill whilst discussing the activity around the car and grill. Thou shalt refrain from complaints of the make of the free beer. However, complaints of temperature are welcomed. Thou shalt refrain from romantic entanglements with a close friend's former flame. Thou shalt nod upwards when passing a friend, downwards when passing a stranger. Thou shalt remember thine role in the vehicle. The driver operates the controls. The passenger navigates. Backseat passengers distribute snacks. Thou shalt never, unless in extreme circumstance, impact the testicles of your fellow man. Zippers are not your friend. Use them slowly and carefully, or you will regret every decision that brought you to this place in life. If there is bad weather brewing outside, you must stand on the porch and say something along the lines of, "Well, the rain's coming, I can feel it." When you become a father, all your sneezes must be loud and violent. If there's 4, there's 2. If there's 5, there's 3. For some reason, when there's a single bathroom and one of us tries the handle to find it occupied, the guy leaving always feels it's necessary to ceremonially hand control over to the new guy, me included. "Hey, man, it's all yours." The guy in the garage with the door open is the bat signal for fellow men to come over. If you find an abandoned child, keep it at a safe distance until another party arrives. Do not attempt to transport said child to the police hospital, and do not attempt to physically comfort the child. Once a second party, preferably female, is present, you may proceed to unlock your inner dad. When a homie has an emotional problem, you must help them. Don't make the sad person sadder. Acting sus at a sleepover is normal. Under no circumstances, unless it's a life or death situation, should you even think of purposely hurting a person's bowel sac. You don't ever ask how far along she is if you weren't the one who knocked her up. Trust this rule. Could save your life. If one breaks into a falsetto rendition of some mildly outdated song, all must break into falsetto and join. This happens in our office, repeatedly. Always cup your hands in the shower and let it go once it fills up. If the remote control stops working, either slap it on your leg or open the back and roll the batteries a few times. Congratulatory encouraging slap on the butt is fine if it is on the sports field or court. It is completely frowned upon at all other times and will lead to merciless mocking. When performing said butt slap, keep the palm flat, never cup your hand, and make the briefest possible contact with the targeted butt cheek. This entire thread makes me love men so much more. Y'all are adorable. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.